Under the glaring spotlights of the 80s rock scene, Axl Rose's image was as vivid as it was enigmatic. The public remembers him as the charismatic and volatile frontman of Guns N' Roses, a band synonymous with raw energy and rebellion. Yet behind the signature bandanas and piercing eyes lay a complex personality, where public persona and inner turmoil collided with the ferocity of a power ballad crescendo. To explore Axl Rose's psyche, we turn to the Enneagram, a tool not for diagnosing, but for understanding motivations, fears, and desires. Axl's on-stage persona hints at a Type 4, the individualist, driven by a deep need to protect a unique identity. Type 4s are often seen chasing authenticity while grappling with feelings of inadequacy. In Rose's case, this translated to a relentless pursuit of artistic expression, often clashing with commercial pressures. Axl's formative years, marked by instability and conflict, forged his complex relationship with fame. Born William Bruce Rose Jr., his early life in Indiana was fraught with familial discord. The music industry, much like a family system, rewards the performers who can maintain an image, but punishes when the FA slips. This industry pressure amplified Axl's drive to prove himself, creating a dichotomy between his public bravado and private struggles. Within the band, Axl's relationships mirrored his inner contradictions. On one hand, he was an ally and creative force, propelling Guns N' Roses to legendary status. Yet rivalries and tensions were never far off, reflecting the rebel archetype he embodied. This duality extended to romantic entanglements, where the intensity of his emotions often led to tumultuous relationships. Publicly, Axl donned a mask of rock star invincibility. The audience saw the swagger, the aggression, the wild energy. But beneath that surface, the pressure of fulfilling this role demanded a toll. The music industry, akin to a fame machine, requires its stars to continuously feed an insatiable public desire for more. For Axl, maintaining this persona meant hiding vulnerabilities, a task both exhausting and isolating. The shadow side of Axl's Type 4 comes into play when the need for authenticity becomes a trap. The very gift of individuality can lead to a cycle of self-doubt and withdrawal. In moments of stress, Axl's behavior could spiral into the darker aspects of his personality, where attempts to protect his identity resulted in alienation from bandmates and fans alike. This interplay of light and shadow in Axl's narrative invites us to reflect on our own experiences. Do we, like Axl, wear masks to navigate the expectations of those around us? Have you ever felt the pressure to become a role, knowing that people might love the role more than they understand the real you? These are not just questions for rock stars, but for anyone juggling the complexity of public and private selves. As we peel back the layers of Axl Rose's public persona, we find a reflection of universal human struggles, the quest for identity, the pressure to perform, and the tension between authenticity and expectation. In this intricate dance of persona and reality, Axl's story becomes a mirror, inviting viewers to examine where their own lives might echo the highs and lows of a rock and roll legend. What emerges from this examination of Axl is a man continually balancing on a razor's edge, where the desire for self-expression collides with the expectations of the world around him. His Enneagram Type 4 personality, often characterized by deep introspection and a craving for authenticity, provides a unique lens through which we can view his struggles. Axl's life and career become a vivid tableau of the Four's core fear, that of being without identity or personal significance. This fear often manifests as a relentless drive to stand apart and be perceived as unique. Yet the paradox lies in how this quest for true self can lead to feelings of alienation, particularly when misunderstood by others. Consider the stage, a world where Axl's internal desire for significance meets the external expectations of his audience. On stage, he transforms into the embodiment of rock and roll charisma, a shapeshifter who channels his inner tumult into performances that are nothing short of electrifying. But this transformation is double-edged. While the audience sees a larger-than-life figure, Axl himself might feel the weight of maintaining a facade, a persona that must be continually fed and sustained. Off-stage, this tension magnifies the same qualities that fuel his on-stage presence: intensity, passion, and a desire to be truly seen. can become volatile in personal relationships. The shadow of type 4 can rear its head as mood swings and a propensity for conflict when these inner needs are unmet or misunderstood. Axel's interactions with his bandmates frequently mirror this pattern. Creative differences, perceived slights, and the pressures of fame often escalated into conflicts, each incident chipping away at the bonds that initially brought them together. The interplay of Axel's shadow and his public persona draws parallels to the trickster archetype. In mythology, the trickster is a boundary breaker, challenging norms and highlighting the absurdities of life. Axel, too, defied conventional paths, whether through his music or his public behavior. Yet, like the trickster, his actions have consequences, often creating chaos as much as they inspire. Axel's narrative is not merely one of disruption, however, it's also about integration, the arduous process of reconciling the disparate parts of oneself. For a type 4, this means embracing both the light and the shadow, understanding that depth of feeling can be both a gift and a burden. His journey illustrates the 4's growth path towards the health of type 1, where the pursuit of authenticity is tempered with the principles of objectivity and groundedness. There are glimpses of this integration in moments where Axel steps back from the brink, channeling his energy into music that resonates with a raw, unfiltered truth. These moments of transformation are crucial. They remind us that identity is not static, but a fluid dance of becoming, where each experience, no matter how turbulent, contributes to the mosaic of the self. For viewers, Axel's journey offers a powerful lesson in the dangers of losing oneself to an idealized image, encouraging introspection on how we can better integrate our shadow selves. As we delve deeper into his psyche, the ecosystem surrounding Axel becomes clearer. The music industry itself functions as a complex web of interactions where individual personas clash and collaborate within an ever-shifting landscape. Within this ecosystem, Axel's role is multifaceted, the hero of his own story, the shadow to others, and the mentor to those who find inspiration in his defiant artistry. Each of these roles brings with it unique pressures and responsibilities, demanding a perpetual balancing act. What can we learn from Axel's saga? Perhaps it's the recognition that each of us grapples with our own versions of these archetypal struggles. We may not all stand under the spotlight on a global stage, but we do face our own audiences, be they our peers, our families, or ourselves. The challenge lies in maintaining authenticity without succumbing to the allure of a mask that might, over time, obscure our true selves. In Axel's relentless search for meaning and connection, we see the universal struggle for identity played out against the backdrop of fame. His story is a vivid reminder that while the world may applaud the persona, true fulfillment comes from a deeper, more personal harmony. By embracing both the triumphs and the turmoil of our own lives, we can begin to understand the complexity of human experience, a journey shared by rock stars and ordinary individuals alike. Through this lens, Axl Rose becomes more than a rock and roll icon. He becomes a symbol of the eternal quest for self-discovery.